Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a Sims 4 Townie makeover. So, I think this is going to actually be my first Sims video on this channel. Basically, what we do with these tiny makeovers, we choose a household in this game called The Sims, and we're like, oh, this household is actually really boring because, especially this household in particular, the Spencer Kim Lewis family, they are part of the base game, and the base game came out in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So they're very old, very outdated. So I just thought, it'd be nice to update how they look and yeah, just give them like a fresh look. I'm not someone who's particularly skilled with creator sim mode or cast as we call it. I'm not one of those people that will download like all these millions and millions of mods and stuff and you know make them look ultra realistic or anything like that. But I do enjoy, like styling them and updating them a little bit and just giving them a bit more personality. I find that especially the older townies in The Sims are just very lacking in personality, because when the Sims base game first came out, we had like nothing. We didn't have the nails that we have now, and the tattoos and that just weren't that great. The makeup horrendous. The makeup is still horrendous, honestly. So it's very hard to like make something decent out of it without mods. But yeah, this whole video is without mods because I can't be bothered. Well, that's not entirely true. I did try to mod my game a good couple of times now, but I don't know what I did because I have like all these different folders. My whole organization on my computer is such a mess. And I'll download mods and I don't know where I'm supposed to put them. And it just ends up not working out at all. So this is just like, what is in the game. I don't have all of the packs. I have a handful of the packs. I bought a few packs that I really, really enjoy, like City Living or Cottage Living. And then I have a few packs that went free, like here and there. I'm trying to think of some of them right now, but I can't really. I know not the pets. What's the DLC for the pets one? My First Pet Stuff. Which, like, that whole controversy with My First Pet Stuff, it's being DLC for DLC because it doesn't really, give you the full experience if you don't have Sims 4 pets. And honestly, like, I believe the conspiracy that the only reason they made that thing go free in the first place is to incentivize people to go and buy the pets DLC. Anyhow, I should probably stop rambling and talk about the makeover itself at this point. So, the first townie that I am doing a makeover for here is Alice Spencer Kim. She is, she's very pretty, even without the makeover and stuff. She's just a very pretty girl. And I don't know if anyone else does this, but like whenever I have like a male sim, it can be, whatever generation it is, or, well, I guess not true, like whatever generation, but anyway, whenever I have a male sim, he always ends up like romancing her and becoming enemies with her husband. I don't know why. I don't know what is it that draws me to her for me to want to do that and to break up this household like that. I honestly don't know. That's part of the reason why I chose this household to renovate is because, like, I feel like she deserves better. She's supposed to be this really rich lady, the stereotypical, like, go-getter, and I just get yoga mom vibes from her. I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate. But yeah, she definitely needed an update since 2014. Absolutely. I don't know, in saying that, I don't know if like what I've done here is necessarily trendy right now. I don't think so. I think I just like I have random packs. A lot of my packs just don't go together. Like city living and cottage living are obviously like opposites, right? But I just have like a few packs that I just like combined the forces, I guess, and try to give her something that's a bit more substantial and a bit something that's a bit more holistic, I guess, because her original design is very flat, and I think she deserves better than that. And I think also that's why I don't like her husband here, Eric Lewis. Um, to me, he's very basic. He's very boring. I never liked this guy. Even if I'm not romancing his wife, I'm just like, I can't stand him for some reason. Because, like, he'll always be in a bad mood. And, because they do that angry little march that they do. So I'm just like, oh, he's so pissed off. I bet I could make him even angrier. And I go and I imply that his mother was a llama or something. So yeah, I mean, like, look at his clothes though. Like, so honestly, very stereotypical. You have this amazing woman. She's got this great body, nice face, everything, and then her husband is just mid, and it's like the perfect sitcom family dynamic thing. That's why I'm like, you know what, their relationship is falling apart anyway. But just want to make a disclaimer. Like, obviously, I don't mean that in real life. Like, cheating is always wrong. But, like, it's The Sims. It's fine, It's just, I mean, sometimes The Sims 4 gameplay is very boring. So you've got to do what you've got to do to create some drama for yourself to make it interesting. Um, let's see. I'm not sure, like, what to do with Eric. I feel like he's a lost cause a lot of the time. Maybe updating his facial hair or something might help, but I don't know. And even like for male Sims, that no makeup look is something I like to go for because it just brightens their face a bit. It's just good, because no makeup at all on a Sim just makes their face look so flat, especially if you don't have any skin details like freckles or something. So that's why I was just like, okay, I'll give him a little bit of Vaseline. Um, but yeah, I'm actually surprised here because I actually recorded this video a while ago. I'm surprised how much time I actually spent on him. Looks like I'm spending a lot of time on him, but I don't know. I think he's just boring. He's a glutton, he's materialistic, he's self-assured, he wants this fancy mansion and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah. How about something original? I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess him coming from this, being wealthy and stuff like that, normally you'd expect him to be like maybe good manners and stuff and not a glutton. Um, because that can be like impolite and stuff in whatever society, you know, shadow wizard lizard society thing these people live in. But I mean, I just don't like this guy. But despite all of that, I do like having good looking townies to look at. I mean, it's so atrocious when you're just playing your game, minding your own business, and then somebody will rock up next to your sim with an eyeball ring, or like all these different rings, and just like atrocious clothes. Really, really atrocious clothes. Anyway, I am glad because I've finally done with him, and I really thought that was going to take forever. Anyway, we move on to Vivian, who is, I guess you could say, the matriarch of this family. Um, yeah, very grandma vibes, but nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with grandma vibes. I do like a cozy sweater here and there, but I just feel like in terms of this family and who they are, like she a little bit of like a fresh look would work, like maybe pants, something a bit more modern would help a lot. She doesn't just have to be like this default granny because I don't think that's what she is, you know? I don't think it suits her. I mean, she can have some granny aspects, and you might not like this, but like I can't get behind pearls. You know, for example, I don't like pearls. I feel like it ages a person. But I'll let her have her pearl bracelet. That is, unless I remove it later on in the video and I just forgot. I do hope I change this top because I actually don't like this top now that I'm looking at it. I don't know. I mean, I'm matching everything to the top, so I guess not. Oh my god, even the hair tie in her hair. Oh boy. Actually, I do like that look a lot of hers, the formal look. And I think I'm gonna leave it just as it is because, yeah, I just clicked on it and then I just went. That's a bit too much. Summer look, I think this is. Is this the summer look or the party look? Oh yeah, it's the party look. Party look, you know, something for them to wear to social events in The Sims. I do have the summer and winter looks, but it doesn't really matter because I don't have seasons. Because buying seasons is a scam. What do you mean I have to pay for weather? But then again, I cannot speak like that because I did buy seasons before. It's just that I hate to admit this, I've had multiple copies of The Sims 4 because before I got my own computer, my boyfriend at the time, he would let me play The Sims and that on his computer, and I would buy it through Steam and stuff like that, and had a bunch of DLC on there. Not a whole lot, but it felt like a lot because I come from a country where like $40, you know, United States dollars is a lot of money. And every pack that I bought was a very well thought out decision. But then when I got my own computer and I was like, oh, you know, it's so nice now I have all this DLC and I can transfer it and I can do this and that. Nope. It was on his Steam account and it's stuck on there, and I would have to buy everything again, or I would have to just do without, even though now I've gotten so used to it. And that really sucked, but I mean, it's one of those things. At the end of the day, like, I don't want to do this because it's like, oh, you play The Sims, but like you bashing on it. Yes, I am, because like it's an unreasonable amount of money for what you get. But I will say I do love cottage living. To this day, I still love cottage living. I just wish that at some point they would fix the gardening bugs. And I know that I haven't played the game in a while, like in person myself in a while, but I'm pretty confident they didn't fix the gardening bugs by now. And it's just one of those things. Anyway, we've moved on now to Dennis Kim. He's actually really interesting to me. He's got a cute little vibe here. When you look at some of his default outfits, I do like those. I actually find him more interesting than Eric, to be honest. I think he's pretty cool. You know, he's a grandpa, but it doesn't have to be boring. Sorry, I've still got the flu. Anyway, yeah, there it is, that god awful eyeball ring. So, Dennis Kim here, he loves the outdoors, he's a perfectionist, he's neat, and he wants to have a successful lineage, which, you know, makes perfect sense with this household, you know, like successful and wealthy, they live in a mansion. Granted, the mansion is also a crime shame, because, again, you know, released when the game itself came out, and a lot of things we take, I guess not take for granted is the right way to say it, but a lot of updates and stuff that we've had to the build mode in The Sims over the years did not exist at the time. You know, like, and it shows. It shows. Especially bigger buildings like that, they end up looking really empty, but I'll try to not talk too much about that because you can't even see the building right now, and if you're not someone who knows what these guys' houses look like, you're probably lost. Anyway, I have no idea why the socks go outside on the pants like that, but yeah. And summer clothes, again, like I don't see the point in why I do this, but it's just a fun thing, you know? Yeah, that winter outfit was crazy. Um, there we go. Lose the eyeball ring. Now, truth be told, the eyeball ring is very iconic. Yeah, like I do cringe a bit when I see it in The Sims itself, like on a townie or something. But in real life, I would love an eyeball ring because I feel like it's like a little secret message. You know, like another simmer you just walk past one day can see it and immediately know where that's from. And it's such an odd thing. You know, it's not as obvious as like the plum bulb or something like that, but it's like a little, you know, I don't know how secret it is outside of our community, but it's a little thing. You know, it's a nice. It's ridiculous enough, but like honestly, yeah, one of those things. And this would be little Olivia. Um, when I play like some type of legacy challenge or something, she normally ages up into a brat. I don't know why. I normally try and make my Sims kids, you know, befriend her and stuff like that because you want your kids in The Sims to have like rich friends and stuff and go over for play dates and oh look at her dollhouse and everything. But yeah, she normally when she becomes a teen she just ages up into a brat, like mean spirited or something. I don't know if that's like intentional or not, but it normally happens. Same way like Alexander Goth normally ages up to be bald when he's a teenager and young adult. And I'm like, did they mean for that to happen or no? The Alexander Goth thing, I can't remember if it was a thing before the Goth family updates or not. But oh well. You know, I've been talking so much of smack about how this family has not been updated since 2014, but I honestly couldn't tell you if they have actually been updated in game because we have had some family updates. And I'm probably sitting here making myself look very dumb if that's the case. But I doubt it. Either way, this is my interpretation of what this family would look like. You know, like this just makes sense for me. Like Olivia having a little bow in her hair and earrings and, you know, all that good stuff and a little bit of wacky clothes, but still somewhat put together. It just fits, you know, so. But also, I want to talk quickly about Paralives, um, because I love I don't even know the words for it yet, but like I love their create a para, I guess. Simulation little thing is like when you make the para itself, because you can change their height, which is so amazing, so good for storytelling. Whereas in The Sims, you need a mod or something, and I think it's just so cool that you know even though they're in early access and stuff, Paralives they are still coming out with that. Anyway, let's take a look at the outfits now that they're done. That was formal, sporty, bedroom, party, swimwear, summerwear, and winterwear. Which I feel like I didn't change that much, but anyway. Here we have Eric and his clothing items. I feel like I kept them very, very similar. I don't know why I spent so much time on him, honestly, because I feel like I didn't change much. I don't know. I started talking on a tangent and I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing. Anyway. And we'll go on to Vivian. I still kind of wish I changed that purple shirt, but oh well. I do think purple does suit her though. And all the different outfits, party wear, swimwear, hot wear, and cold weather outfit. And that's Vivian, and here is Dennis Kim. I do love that City Living allowed me to update these characters, these Sims, a lot better because, you know, they have like Asian ancestry, and I think it's really good. It's really, really good to be able to use these clothing items on them. And I do feel some type of way about, you know, cultural items being behind a paywall, but it is what it is, you know. I love the party outfit I put together for her. And the winter outfit too. Yeah. So, there it is.